All right, single arm dumbbell escapades continue. Up to the 100-pound dumbbell, which felt a lot cooler, except for I totally cooked my CNS doing those heavy ass good mornings. I did good mornings with like 400 pounds on the SSB, and like I think I did like 6 or 7 reps or something like that. I had just my CNS was cooked. I couldn't sleep for a couple nights. So I did a 2x10 and then an AMRAP, which was, now I got to think, 19 reps? I mean, you can count if you're watching the video. But yeah, I think it was 19 reps, which is fine. But I think I would have gotten a lot more if my CNS was better off. But that's fine. Coach was still super happy with it. I still love pressing dumbbells over my head. That's literally like my favorite thing to do. So yeah, I thought those went pretty great. Yeah, I even struggled with that last rep real good. This was nice. I actually really like the single arm chest press machine for doing single arm stuff, and coach knows how to pick the weights right. So this was good. Did a couple sets of 10 with this. I did one time actually load that up with Shane did like 4 plates, and it was like 4 plates and a 10, or Shane can correct me in the comments. But yeah, I did it with one arm for like 2 reps. So, I've got good single arm pressing power that way too. My coach is pretty convinced that this is all going to carry over really well. I don't know if he's just gassing me up because that's a nice thing to do when your client's hurt, or if he really believes like the carryover from all of my strength being up with one arm. Like I'm literally stronger right now with one arm than I was with 2 arms on a lot of these movements. So he thinks we're going to have a really, really sick comeback. You can probably tell in this squat video, I'll admit, after saying I'm not dumb and blah, 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 and I'm being compliant, I actually got really sick of my cast. It's supposed to come off Wednesday. Today is Monday. But it's like my arm is atrophied so much that it's like sliding off, and it really doesn't stop my arm from moving at all. So it's kind of dumb. So I actually started warming up for squats, and I just slid the cast off and put it over by my gym bag. I was like, fuck it, I'm not dealing with this. Part of the reason is because it actually hurts my so there's some nerve stuff from the surgery, which they told me there would be. It's completely normal and it's going to go away. But there's nerve pain in my left wrist. It's not in my bicep. And so the cast pressing on it was hurting like hell. And I kept having to take Tylenol and crap just to get rid of that. It's like, I don't want to have to keep taking Tylenol just because this cast is pressing on my wrist. It's not otherwise doing anything. So I took it off. But yeah, these squats went really well. We had the belt back on. I was almost sad to put the belt back on. I kind of like doing the beltless, knee sleeveless stuff for a while just to see how heavy it could get. But we're back up to 500 pounds on the SSB. Not right there. That's I don't know, just under 400 pounds. But I got up to 500 pounds. Larry worked up to, I'm going to have to do some math, but I want to say he was working with 330 on his top sets for today. But yeah, we did a 4x5, so 20 reps total working weight. Larry we like this for him. We're doing kind of escalating sets. So he'll kind of start off at the same percentage as me. But in a lot of cases with his full gear and just where he's at in his strength, and that we're using a 1 rep max that he did in a meet in April, and he's definitely stronger than that now. We'll kind of start him at the same percentage that I'm working with for the day, and then just let him kind of go up by 2.5 kilos per set as he sees fit. And that's working really, really well for him. And this is a really long run on the SSB for him. I have all my clients do SSB, but I generally keep it pretty light. I use it as a way to get through the first couple weeks without banging up people's shoulders. And then I'll make it a little bit harder variation by doing things like SSB box squats, which, those are more challenging than just an SSB squat, but the percentages are low. It's 55% of your 1 rep max on squat. And I'll have them do 2x8, 3x8, 2x10, stuff like that, just so you get in those early weeks without putting your hands on a squat bar and beating up your shoulders, and that works pretty well. But yeah, so Larry actually doing some heavyweight with this is starting to challenge his mid-back, and he said specifically too, after the good mornings that we did, because Larry attempted a 400-pound good morning as well. After the good mornings that we did, we were both feeling our mid-back super hard doing these sets. I don't think it came out really hard on the video, but for me, I felt like I was really fighting not to bend over super far. So this is my first set with 500 pounds. Maybe that first rep wasn't as good, but I did feel like I was starting to get some good depth with these. Definitely was feeling my mid-back from those good mornings, but overall feeling really good about it. I mean, I even posted this on my Instagram and said, you know what, I'm feeling really good about that set because it's just back to 500 pounds. 500 pounds for 5, feeling good. It feels good to me. Feels like I'm in a good place. This is, it's working around an injury, but it's really just become my off season. And I didn't have an off season for a long time because I was spamming competitions. Because the truth is, I'm addicted to that. I really want to get out there. I definitely feel the clock ticking against me. I'm 40 years old now. I only have so many more years I can compete in this sport at a high level. I want to do it right. But you know what? That's one of the most important things, and Larry's been better about this than I have. He seems to instinctually understand the need for an off season, so he did competitions twice with me, and then he's chilled out in between, and just I mean, he's always working. He's always getting stronger, but like he doesn't feel the need to spam those competitions, and he's gotten stronger, and that's right now both me and him where we're at, and I feel really good about it. I feel like I've built a lot. So 4x5 with 500 felt good. Somebody asked me today, a new client, like, is that like a personal record for me? And I had to think about it. Like, I think if I did a 5x5 with 500 pounds, that would have been a PR. I don't think I've ever done a full 5x5 with 500. I've done it with 400 like a bunch of times. I used to do that as part of a program that I did for myself. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe without knee sleeves, it's probably a PR. But it doesn't register for me that way because it's not something that I think about as like, oh, I didn't know if I could do this, or it took insane amounts of effort or anything. It was ultimately pretty chill. I love a good 4x5. I love a good 5x5. Speaking of which, I just sat down for like, I don't know, it probably took me like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. I wrote out a program because I have a client now who didn't want to do what we normally do. Normally, I load people into an app, and I have them submit videos for every single workout, and then I go in and give feedback on every single workout, and then we communicate throughout the week. And he wanted something a little bit more chill, so he asked me, like, do you have just like a program? And I had started doing this before, but it's such an intensive process because if I'm going to do it, I kind of want perfection from it. But we agreed on that, and that officially makes him a client of mine in that way. I just wrote him a program, and he's going to send me what videos he wants to send me. He's going to ask me what questions he wants to ask me. And I just thought that was a really cool way of doing it. So just so you guys know, I have a program available, and I'll talk to people if they are interested in that instead of the full coaching experience. But it's cool because that, laying it out as a full program kind of like maps out my thoughts on what programs should look like. And I kind of boiled it down into like 10 weeks. Normally I run my clients on like 12 weeks. Doesn't really matter. It's just the 10 weeks was 3 blocks of 3 weeks and then a deload, and then you can test. And that's kind of just how I wrote it that way. But yeah, very excited about just sitting down and laying out those thoughts. I've been talking with Larry a lot about how we do those. We've talked a lot about how you design percentages and rep schemes and all those things. And I think it's really cool that he's starting to get an understanding of that. So yeah, this was his top weight for the day. That's 150 kilos. That's 331 pounds. And he was moving it super well. Actually, that's not his last set. On his last set, he was like sitting down there, pausing, talking shit to me. I'm going to redo this audio at this part because my dog has been whining at the door this whole time, distracting me. But yeah, I finished up super well with these. Got all of my sets. The last set actually felt like the best set, probably the deepest, and the fastest. So that was good. Here's an example of just why Charlie is not human. So he was like doing GHD sit-ups over there while I was squatting with Larry. And the next thing you know, he just comes over and is like, yeah, I did it with 25-pound plates, like nothing. So I was like, yeah, I don't know, grab a stone, make it harder. And I did not mean a 95-pound stone, and I did not record every rep that he did. But that was a 95-pound stone. Yeah, Charlie's not even human. And also we joked because his wife is pregnant. I was like, this is just like a sympathy workout. Now you understand what she feels in her stomach, kind of. Here's Larry's last set with his 150 kilos, 331 pounds here. He was feeling good. So you're going to see he gets into like some pauses and he starts to turn and talk some shit to me. I talk a little smack to Larry. I think on today I made fun of him for the fact that like he sets the mono one. Oh, here's his last set. He sets the mono 1 inch lower than me. And so I was like, yeah, I don't know. Larry's just a little guy. And like, it's only 1 inch lower than me. So like, he got so mad. He didn't like me calling him a little guy. But like, when you're 6'1" and 328 pounds, I'm now under 330 pounds because I'm successfully cutting. I feel like I can call people a little guy. But, Larry didn't like it. But you know what? Like, I will say, though, if he's going to keep trying to use, the same weights as me on the accessories, which he's been doing, he's smoking all these sets, he's doing higher percentages, like, I think he's got some room to talk, man. He's definitely getting stronger. He's ramping up for a meet. We're not going to officially say what, where, or when, but I will tell you that Larry is officially prepping up for a meet. And we put a strong concentration on squat right now. He really hasn't deadlifted very much. We've just been doing SSB squats because he's kind of following my schedule, which has been to do a single arm horizontal press, SSB squats, single arm vertical press. There you go, he's talking shit. dumbbell shoulder press, right? So it's those 3 days and then rest day, basically on repeat over and over again. So it more or less turns into squatting twice a week, pressing almost 4 times a week for me with one arm. Larry's not benching 4 times a week by any means, but he's getting his bench press days in. But the real concentration has been the squat. This was really good. We grabbed this leg press. I don't think I've ever actually used this leg press before. This over at Rise Athletics Club is probably one of the hardest leg presses I've ever used. I did a set. This is a set of 20. These are 2-second pauses at the bottom. At least they're supposed to be. I did a set of 20 with 5 plates. And then I did a set of 15 reps with 6 plates on each side. It felt heavy. I mean, I think we were talking to Jesus in between reps. Like, it was something. I'll admit, I really wish I would have gotten my legs deeper, but I was feeling such a stretch in the lower back. And that can be a good thing. Like, when you leg press, you want to feel like almost like your hips are going to be lifted off at the bottom. But I was actually feeling it in my lower back in a way that didn't feel 100% comfortable, so I didn't push past that. There's always a rule of thumb. I actually just put that in the program that I wrote. Like, the rule of thumb is, like, never take anything past a 3 out of 10 discomfort pain level. I think it's normal to have some aches and pains when you're training, but it's not normal to be in pain while you're training all the time. And I say that while I work out with a torn bicep and whatever. But, like, seriously, if you're training and something is beyond, like, a 3 out of 10 discomfort, like, just stop. If it is 3 out of 10 discomfort too, it doesn't mean just keep doing the sets over and over again. You got to figure out what's going on.